everybody, I'm Selena Brillo, and this is DIY Live, Huntsville, Alabama's YouTube channel dedicated to capturing the underground. And I'm here at the Fret Shop today with my very good friend Abraham, from Abraham and the Old Gods. And we're going to do an interview with you today to learn some more about you, buddy.
Cool, dare you.
All right, I'm going to do it right now. I am.
You look scared.
Right? So, Abe, where are you from?
I'm from Spokane.
Awesome.
Spokane, Washington.
Okay.
And, just been kind of bumping around for the second half of my life so far. So I don't really have a whole lot of roots anywhere, really.
Right. Okay, so you're from Spokane,
Mm-hmm.
and is your family still up there?
I got a little bit of family there. Everybody kind of scattered. A lot of folks came to Huntsville because my brother is an engineer.
Nice.
And so he moved a bunch of family down here. My mom is now an Arizonian. And yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about music.
Okay.
So you can play guitar?
Yeah.
You can play fiddle?
Some people said.
Some people say. I've heard you play fiddle. I'd say you play fiddle. Do you play any other instruments?
Yeah, I'll mess around with mandolins and let's see. I can never get anything out of a banjo though.
No. I don't think everybody's a banjo person.
Yeah.
But yeah. So mandolin, fiddle, and of course guitar.
Sure.
So let's talk about when did you start learning how to play music?
Well, yeah, my dad really wanted me to play violin because he played and he wasn't very good. So about 9 years old, he started trying to teach me how to play violin. And I didn't want nothing to do with it. I wanted to rock and roll, Dad. I want a guitar, get that grandpa guitar out of my face kind of situation, and started playing guitar. And then in my early 20s, I realized, holy shit, the fiddle players are like the baddest boys in town. So I want to do that. So I started really working hard, and now people ask me to come play with them finally. So
Right on.
yeah,
Good.
took like 10 years.
Well, it takes a process to build up to being good at something.
Sure, yeah.
So, when did you come to Huntsville?
Shoot, I came to Huntsville when I was 20 years old, a long time ago. Who's in counting? Time is an illusion. It was a long time ago, 15, 16 years ago or something. And just came to Huntsville and immediately made a bunch of good friends down at Crashman Bang and Low Mill and stuff. And then just kind of hung out and snowbirded back and forth, the Northwest in the summer, Southeast in the winter. Did that for a long time.
Well, let's talk about Low Mill.
Sure.
Yeah, I love that place.
Yeah.
And that's been a great mecca for like a lot of people gravitated there
Right.
back around that time because
Sure.
it was one of the few places, I guess, that Huntsville had where, young people could go and play music and so on.
Right, and it was just, just creativity in all of its forms. There's all sorts of creatives there, all kind of working together and building off of each other, and it was just cool. Crashman Bang was an especially cool piece of that because there was, writers and set builders and technicians and musicians and actors and, everybody was kind of all shoved into this, one production that we, threw together in 6 weeks and played for 2 weeks, and it was just really cool being there to see all that as they were building up the Low Mill, and it was really
Right. Because when it first opened, there was like that one spot on the second floor.
Right,
And that's
Flying
it.
Monkey.
The Flying Monkey,
Yeah.
and that was it. And then now, of course, it's the huge, all parts of the building are being used and stuff now. But originally...
Is it Low Mall now? Or?
Oh, right, it does seem a little bit like that, yeah. But it was just that one little spot for a long time, and that is where, all of the people that needed somewhere to go and be creative went to for a long time.
Yeah, and it's super cool now too because they actually achieved the goal. They got revenue neutral and got in the green, and that was always the distant goal that we couldn't even imagine. And now it's really a thing, and
Yeah.
people talk about it all over the country now.
Yeah, and the original people are still there. Matt Pakula is still there. Like,
Yeah, he's the
gonna
events coordinator now.
Yeah, he's gonna be buried underneath the water tower. He says. He told me he'll be buried underneath the water tower.
That's his baby.
That's his
He loves that
baby.
thing.
He's worked hard as shit for that place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a cool place, Huntsville history right there.
Very cool. I actually worked at Lincoln Mill as well when they were doing that, and that was a lot different, but
Yeah.
equally fun and ridiculously weird sometimes.
I saw one show at Lincoln Mill, and it was all the way at like a top floor. It was really neat.
Yeah.
As this was close to my house, and I was like, well, this would be really cool because then I could just like walk down here and walk back. But then they weren't doing much more beyond that.
Yeah.
What were they doing when you were there?
Well, I got there very early in their initial renovation. They renovated the whole thing, and now you can see that it's it's big. They got a bunch of tech companies in there, a bunch of DoD stuff going on in there, from what I understand, engineers all over the place. But we got in there very first, so I kind of had free reign to kind of run around and check it out. And we'd go, and back in the day, we'd go get drunk on the roof and like go cruise through all these old abandoned, they're kind of like storage units. We'd find all sorts of weird asbestos crap. It was really fun to play around, back in the day. But
Okay, so you spent a lot of time going like from Washington back to this way and so on, traveling and stuff. I heard a rumor that you lived in Ward House for a little while.
Yeah. Well, it was when we were working at Lincoln Mill, I had come down and got that job, and another friend of mine had come down from Spokane, and we were working, so we were looking for a place, and I just literally hopped on a bicycle and rode around 5 Points, and boom, Ward House. Called the number, called the guy up, Dave Milley. He was awesome, and we got along great instantly. He's like, oh, you guys work over there? Yes, I'll rent to you. We were in within a week, and I guess the next week we were playing shows on the roof.
Right? I got to go to Ward House like towards the end. I don't think you live there anymore. But for the people who don't know what Ward House was, you want to tell them?
Yeah, Ward House is just like this awesome spot on Ward Street, right at where the train tracks cross Meridian and all that. And it just doesn't have neighbors really. There's one person across the street, but we could just, it was always a place for, I guess musicians and creatives to kind of bump in and live and work and stay and party, and it was pretty wild. We were pretty tame because we were working, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, and so it was mostly tame while we were there, but I've heard some stories.
Right? I've heard some stories. I've known people who slept in tents in the yard and stuff like that. And I know one show I was like, oh my God, the floor is going to fall. And there was this really cool window on the other side of people were playing in the living room, and you could go outside, smoke cigarettes, and see the whole thing through the window. I used to go peek and do that and just look through the window. Nice. But lots of traveling bands played there.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Lots of people did, yeah.
No kidding. We played a show with Days and Days. Like before they were big time shit, they were still like crusty kids living in a van, playing for next to nothing at pizza shops, across from Low Mill, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, lots of people. I mean, we still have bands to this day that want to tour through here that hit up the Ward House emails and stuff. Pat will be like, this band's coming. I don't know why they hit me from Ward House and send it along the way. So, I mean, it really got a reputation for a while.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. The front porch was rad, the backyard.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember the names of all the bands I saw back there, but it was like one Sunday, there was like 5 bands playing in the backyard.
Oh, right.
I was like, that's so cool. I love that.
Super cool.
Yeah. Everybody was like just up on the side. Like you said, no neighbors, nobody calling, nobody being pissy.
Never. Yeah. We used to practice in that front room, and the train would just barrel by at about 60 miles an hour, just blowing horns because it's going through 2 intersections. We'd be trying to practice and trying, and so we just fucking look at each other, fuck, all right. Do, hear that train coming. And we couldn't hear, so we're just playing as fast as we can. We played that song a million times. Got pretty good at it, even though we couldn't hear it.
Awesome. So tell us what the Abraham and the Old Gods, what does that stand for?
Oh, it doesn't really stand for anything. I had these grandiose visions of having a full band that was ready to play at any point, and so, just my name being Abraham, I wanted something big and sacrilegious and kind of ridiculous to, just to kind of flaunt out there. And then I ended up doing a bunch more one-man band shows as Abraham and the Old Gods. And they're like, where's the Old Gods? It's like...
They're here, they're with me.
Yeah.
They're in the air.
Yeah. What, you mean Jesus, the old God that got killed by the new God money, Yeah, you got all this stupid stuff. But I've had a drummer for the last probably year and a half, and we put out the record, and So it's a lot less awkward to say Abraham the Old Gods when you have at least one other person with you. But yeah, we just put out a record, and we have a small little tour booked here in September, but I'm talking to people and I'm not sure how that's going to go because we're in the shit again.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, we have a date, don't we, at some point? I thought we
Yeah, it was supposed to be the 8th right before we take off on the tour. Wasn't that right? It's Wednesday the 8th?
I don't know.
Wednesday.
I think it was. But now
We'll
I
check
think,
calendars.
right? But now I think that it doesn't matter because if we both can't remember what it was, it's not important.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those.
Right? The torn through the pandemic and hopefully not a second pandemic.
Yeah. I just, like, I went and got vaccinated immediately as soon as I could. Just put it in me, like, I just want to do this again. Like, I want, and it's just been really tricky, and everybody,
Well, you spend a lot of time on the road and traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you spend a lot of your life doing that.
Yeah.
All of a
Basically
sudden-
the last 8 years.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So what are some of your favorite places to visit?
Oh, God. I really love Kearney, Nebraska. When we first went there, me and my sister, Sissy Brown, we were touring, and we had this big 3-month thing going on. And she's like, okay, this week we're going to Nebraska. And I'm already tired of it. We're like a month and a half in. I'm just tired of it. It's like, fuck, are we really going to Nebraska? Like, what's in Nebraska? For real? We're going to go play for some corn, Children of the Corn or whatever. And we got there, and it was just some of the greatest salt of the earth folks that just had really cool community going on. And it was just really fun. And so that's the place I'm trying to get to. Really like the Midwest. I haven't been back to the Northwest in 3 or 4 years now. So those are some of my favorite places for sure. Kansas City is always a great time.
Mm-hmm. And so, but you also travel playing with, all kinds of other musicians and stuff. You've made tons of friends everywhere, right?
Oh yeah, and it's been crazy too because, being a fiddle player, I get to kind of branch out of my little happy zone and go play for somebody else who has their own little thing going on. So like I did a lot of work with Lauren Walker Madsen, and we got to go literally all over the world together, and played with Dwayne Mark, and he took me to a bunch of places I'd never been, and tons of people that I had never met. But it's weird how they all just kind of integrate and cross together, and so now you go to Muddy Roots, for example, and
right.
It's just like, love that person, love that person, love that person, that person, that person, that person,
Yeah, I remember walking in and seeing Tim V, and you were playing fiddle.
Yeah.
I was like, there's Abraham.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was a great one. That was really fun. And yeah, so being a fiddle player has, doing what your dad always wanted you to do.
I know, it's so sad, too.
Right? And it's made your life pretty fucking rad.
It has. It
Right?
really is the
Dad
only
might have
cool
known
thing.
something.
Yeah, well, and I think about that sometimes, like, because I'll still play. He loved to play Canon in D, that one? And so I'll play that sometimes, and then, like, I'll just think, oh, what would old Dad think of this? And I'll just be like, fuck him. How about that, Dad? What you gonna do, Dad?
And Dad's like, boy, I told you play that fiddle, you'll have a good life.
I know, right?
I told you.
Well, that was the other thing too. Is like he like sat me down one day and he's like, Abe, this is the family fiddle. Came from the Ukraine with your great grandfather, and I had it restored. And no one else is really musical in the family, so I want you to have this. And I was just like, grandpa's guitars, and I just kind of didn't really appreciate it at the time, and then as we got older, my brother like pawned it or sold it or something, and so it is gone forever. And so that was like one of the real like sticking points of not taking it seriously when I was a kid.
Well, kids
Yeah.
don't. Kids don't. And then you don't get that opportunity to have that again. But, someday you may walk into a pawn shop to buy something else, and it could be there.
Could be there. I don't know if I would ever know because I don't. But it's just the one. It smells like my dad's bedroom. Oh, what does that smell? Feet and Vaseline. Gross, Dad.
There it is. That's the Ukrainian fiddle. So Muddy Roots is coming up again.
Yeah.
I'm I'm excited about it.
I'm really excited about it. I'm not going to play this year, but I just bought my ticket.
I did. Well, I've had a ticket since 2019, since I left in 2019.
Yeah.
So I did buy another ticket so I could take somebody with me. And I'm excited. And nobody from overseas this year. It's all Americans because of COVID and stuff. And so far they've had no bands canceled. So that's pretty darn
So
rad.
far, I mean, we got 3 weeks to go or something like that.
That's it. We're going to keep our fingers crossed for some month this year.
Well, in Moonrunners too, I'm gonna be able to play Moonrunners this year with Pentagram String Band.
Nice.
Yeah, so
See, that's so cool. That's why I love booking about shows, because
Yeah.
then, I get to see you guys do stuff again at some other
Right.
point in time.
well, right, like let's give you some credit here. Selena booked Pentagram String Band at Side Tracks for a Side Chicks gig.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had to kind of, weasel and leverage and, annoy my way into that show for a while. And then it finally happened. And then next thing you know, I'm doing a few dates with Pentagram String Band. And then I'm playing fiddle with them. And then they're calling me, come on tour. We're actually going to play Tim V's haunt in October that he's building up there. He's building a little haunt in upstate New York. And then
Frank?
back to Moonrunners.
See, I'm like, being a promoter's not all that great, but then later you get to see like all of the people that you put in the same place, and you get to see them all play together. That's the coolest thing ever.
Right.
Yes.
It's like play amongst yourselves. My work is done.
I'll have to put you in the same room once.
On to the next one.
Right? Like Lauren Walker Matson, they played Copper Top a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yeah?
First time I met Lauren Matson was at the Copper Top. Did
Yeah.
you book him too?
I did.
Get the hell out of here.
Right.
And I
Yes,
remember
I
just
did.
like
Yeah,
not
first show they
knowing,
played here, I booked that show.
not knowing
Yeah.
Lauren from Adam, and I'm just sitting there, and they're just killing it, playing all the right songs for me. And I bought a bunch of merch, and we just made friends. And yeah, he called me a couple of years later. Hey, need a fiddle player for tour. You want to come? And then a couple of years after that, it was, hey, we're going to Europe. You want to go? And it's like,
Heck yeah, I want to go to Europe.
yeah, that was fun.
Right?
27 shows in 25 days.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, that's cool as shit.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put you on the spot. We've been doing this thing where like if you had 5 words to describe yourself
Oh.
in music. I know I was gonna text you and then I forgot about it because I was working.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I know. I was like, I'm gonna put you on the spot. If it works good, we'll keep it in.
Okay,
We're
sure,
buzzing
fair
along.
enough.
So if you had 5 words to describe yourself, your music, your life, what would you describe it as?
Oh man, I honestly don't really like to describe myself at all.
Okay.
I like to leave it out. I don't know. I'm just always the one that just likes to play. Like it's kind of weird. I was thinking about it the other day. Like it was like, especially in America, like everybody's so insistent on commodifying your hobbies. And I found that playing music is an excellent way to travel. And it's just really great. You can go play your homies, you practice your skill, and everybody gets to come and watch me like, ooh, ah, fun, yeah. And it's just really good way to work it out. So, I don't know. Like,
I think you said it. I just like to play.
I just like to play.
I think you did it. I think you didn't even have to think about it. It just came right out.
I like to play. 5th word is, I like to play.
Right on. And well, I mean, you're gonna be playing hopefully forever and ever and ever.
I hope so.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
Yes, right. Spend the rest of your life doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
Let's hope
Unless
so.
I get into some knife fights and like lose a finger or two, that'd be.
Oh, that's so.
like-
Let's not do that. Oh, so tell us the story from tour, because you tour all the time. I mean, you're
Sure.
always on the road, so you've got to have some really good,
Ooh, we
really
got
good tour stories.
some
Tell us one, and then
juicy
we'll get out of
ones.
here.
Okay, cool. Let's do the. There's a story I always tell on stage because it's a song that I wrote, and it's about Midnight Ride to Ruckus. And Ruckus and the Boonies was this festival that was happening in Oregon for a while. Ruckus and the Records label, which we're on, puts it on every year, and so. I was going out there. I just heard this festival. It's not far from my hometown, and I'm going. I'm already there that weekend. Basically, I was playing outside of Moses Lake, Washington, which is in the middle of fucking Mars. Literally, it's nothing out there. And so I had played this early kind of gig and drank a bunch of beer and tequila, and like I'm ready to go. And so I like stop and get some gas and some more beer, and I'm just driving down this lonely 2-lane road, and this is the first time I really experienced like true white privilege, because I'm just smoking weed, driving, texting, drinking beer, you know, driving through the desert. It's the middle of the night, nobody's out there, and I get pulled over by the law. State trooper, he comes up, and so I'm like trying to like stash my bomber behind my legs. He's coming up here so he can't see it, and just like do, you know, and he comes up, he says, "Do you own this truck?" And that's a weird first sentence for a cop. So I'm like, "Yeah," sensing something weird. "Yeah, here's the license registration." He comes back, goes and runs it, comes back, and goes, "You know, I'm from Alabama too." I said, "I'm not getting a DUI. I'm not getting a DUI. I'm not going to jail." So I just kind of dropped into the Alabama accent, like, "Oh yeah, whereabouts? You know, Anderson. Oh, is that about Gadsden Way? Where are you from? Oh, Montevallo, Alabama. You know, how's your mom and them?" He's like, "You know, you're going over the speed limit." I was like, "Oh man, y'all go 60 around here?" This is in Washington State. Nobody talks like this at all. But he felt at home. He was like, "You got something sticking out of your tailgate here." I was like, "Oh, it's probably a tow strap." So, you know, roll down the window to my truck so I can reach out and open the thing and like gently step over my beer and jump out. And I kick the empty beer cans back in, slam it, boom, drop it down, and the cop's just in there. He's looking. He's like, "Oh yeah, you know, there's the sub, there's the kick drum. Oh man, you really do it all, huh?" "Yep." "Bam. Y'all go 60 around here?" "Yes, sir." "Well, roll tide, roll tide." And he just took off the other way and made it to Ruckus and sang "I'll Fly Away" with Fritz from Whiskey Dick. So
Love Whiskey Dick.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
Freaking A. Yep. All right, so people want to hear your music.
Yep, Abraham and the Old Gods on Spotify, iTunes, all the stuff. You can find it anywhere. It's perfectly aggregated through a distribution website, so it should
Awesome.
be fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if they put it up on YouTube, but
Well, we
have some
We
DIY
have lots of
live.
DIY live videos of Abraham and the Old Gods. Lots of them, really good ones from the Tetanus Ramp.
Yeah.
And we were all out there earlier this year. My favorite part of that was after I fell asleep drunk in the tent, and I woke back up, and you guys were still playing, and I was like, "Thank goodness."
Oh man, I knew it too. I was like, Selena passed out, but she's a champ. She's coming back, and
I came back.
shit came back
Boom.
and did the damn.
I was like, "Thank you, you guys are still playing." Yes. It was so much fun. I actually played drums a little bit for that night, and I've never done that before in my life.
"Yeah, girl."
I know. I was like, I might actually be all right at this. That was fun. It was a good time.
It was a good time. And then it started raining, and I woke up in a mud puddle inside my tent on a cot.
That sucks.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
it was
it
a bad morning.
That was. I woke up in my car, thank God,
Oh, yeah.
and I was just like, "Oh shit!" I had slept in someone's tent because they threw me in a tent. Love Tetanus Ramp folks. They were like, "Yeah, you're not going anywhere." Threw me in a tent, so I slept a little while before I got back up again, and it was freezing, and I was like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "That's it, I'm done, I'm up." And then I woke up in my car, and they were wonderful. Dawn made me coffee. I love those. I love the Tetanus Ramp folks
Yeah,
so
they're
much.
excellent.
They
I'd
are.
like to go back down there sometimes.
You know, Alabama independent music, all that kind of stuff. So much fun.
Sure.
All right, well, I'm Selena Brilla, and this is Abe with Abraham and the Old Gods.
Sup?
And this has been DIY Live. Thank you so much for watching.
La, 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 la.
There we go.
Tight.
That was fun.